Dear class, welcome to Intro to International Relations and Global Studies. I'm Sophia Barkett. It's Monday, and we are supposed to have a new weekly lesson folder open up. Let's check it out. So as you know, last week we had lesson 1 open up, and many of you logged in early. You got to see the main topics of IR, but you also, some of you logged in and saw the lecture on Blackboard and the syllabus. I mentioned earlier that I added 1 or 2 new features, and so do check it out. I think it will be very good for those who are interested in understanding how to do assignments and other things. However, we'll walk over to, let's take a look at weekly lesson 2, which has just opened up this morning, approaches in IR. This goes over the international system of states, approaches in international relations, the scientific method and behavioralism, and you will have to finish a quiz at once you've studied chapter 1. The deadline for the quiz, for some reason, has disappeared on this page, but it should be February 4th. So it's due in 2 weeks on Sunday. Let's look at the discussion board. Written assignment 1 has opened up, and its due date is February 25th. Let's talk about written assignments. So here you see this kind of warning lesson. It says, "Dear class, do not open this forum unless you have a prepared answer. You won't see anyone's post unless you post your answer." So when you're in, you have to create a thread. See, it gives you the option of creating a thread. And only hit that button when you have written down your entire answer and you can post it. Otherwise, look what happens. Once you open the forum, Blackboard shows that you've been in there. And if you don't have an answer posted, what happens is you are getting to see everybody else's answers. And so it becomes an academic honesty issue, right? So if you're looking at people's answers before you posted your answer, that's going to show up on Blackboard. Everyone's going to see it, not just me. So avoid that. You want to look at the hit that button only when you're ready to post your answer. And you should never prepare your answer on Blackboard, okay? So what you need to do is go to Word. You do all your writing in a Word file, save it on your laptop and USB. And when you're ready, simply copy and paste your final answer into the forum when you create your thread, right? So that's how you would do it. But before that, make sure you answer all parts of the question carefully. Read the questions, read the instructions on how to complete them. And before you post your answer, make sure you have checked for spelling problems. Use, MS Word. You have tools. You can look at spelling check, grammar check, check for punctuation, read your work. Let somebody read it. If you're worried about writing, correctly, have someone look at it who's not in this course, okay? Somebody who's not but taking the course, let them look at it. Your work should be your own, okay? So do not go to ChatGPT or any other AI software and do the work that way. What ends up happening is ChatGPT will give you formulaic answers, right? And so many of you will try to do that. And what will happen is your answers will look exactly the same with slight differences. That will give you a 0. you will get a 0 for doing that. So if I'm initially impressed by your answer because I didn't catch everybody's answer, I will eventually give you a 0 on the assignment if I see that other people are producing exactly the same work. That means that you're not doing your work on your own, right? Because when you do your work on your own, guess what happens? It's more interesting to read. It's more your kind of writing. It's unique. So, of course, I'm not looking for anything perfect. I'm looking for you struggling with the readings and writings, but doing your best. Okay, so if you are worried that your writing isn't beautiful yet, that's fine. You're young and you've just started writing essays. And you're in college, and then you're going to do so much more interesting work after this course. Your writing will improve. So don't worry about those things. What I'm concerned is that you have brought your voice, you have brought your beautiful thoughts, your creative style. I don't want to read what ChatGPT and AI software are telling me. I don't care what they can do. So take this opportunity to develop your style, okay? And that's what I'll be most happy about. Even when you're struggling to, with the material and to write the best answer. So each student, as I mentioned earlier, when I went over the syllabus, is that this answer is not your final answer. I will take a look at it. I will give you positive criticism on how to improve your work. So I will say, okay, so look at this part. Has it been, it looks like there could be more clarification on one point here, more clarification. So then you'll get some time to actually work on those things. You'll get about 2 weeks, and then you'll hand in an updated but more beautiful version of your own work. And that's when the final points will be added. Okay. So initially I'll give you a points, point for whatever points there are for the draft that you submit, but eventually you'll do a, updated version, and then I'll give you more points. So do not worry, try your level best and give me a chance to look at it to offer criticism. Um, let's look at the first assignment. It's due February 25th. There are 5 parts. So 1, 2, 3, 3 questions. And it says for parts, so 4 goes down, after these links, and then there's a 5 as well. So the first part is, has to do with the book. The second one has to do lectures. Third one goes back to the book. For questions parts 3 and 4, you are reflecting, you're choosing one of these writings and you're reflecting on them. For the 5th part, you're reflecting back on realist theories that you read and making some kind of deduction. Okay, so the idea was to walk you through the first assignment. Make a note that the due date is the 25th. If you have already purchased the online book, make sure you read chapter 1 very carefully. Let's also go to the discussion board. Here is a Cyber Cafe open discussion section. Post a thread there if you want to ask a question, okay? You can also take this chance to look at the introductions. I just want to say thank you again for those who have taken the time to introduce yourselves. It gives me a chance to understand where you're coming from, um, what kind of things you like studying. And I'll try my best to keep that in note when I introduce you to assignments or talk about lectures and things like that. So let's stop here for today. The other thing you should note is weekly lesson 2 says that quiz 1 has become available. Only take quiz 1 when you are ready, but know that it's due February 4th, okay? So when you have questions about when things are due, go to the syllabus link, go to the class schedule link, and it will tell you the due dates. So let me stop here for now, and let's, talk again sometime this week. If you have questions, post them in the Cyber Cafe section. I will check them and I will get back to you. And other than that, have a wonderful week.